Oh, happy first day of legal tampering as free agency doesn't start till Wednesday, but it might as well have started. Oh, there it is, the breaking news sounder. And you'll hear it throughout the day as I'm talking. And I believe Kevin's just giving us a sampling of what it sounds like. Kev, did you have a new one we needed to break?
Since we've been on, there have been two deals done. So, we should just play that all the time, I think, today.
Yeah, I would say so. And the one of the most recent one was the Raiders signing Ravens Pro Bowl center, and that's Tyler Linderbaum, 3 years, $81 million. I mean, that's great money for an interior lineman. In fact, that surpasses what Tyler Smith is making for the Dallas Cowboys, considered maybe the best interior lineman in the league. Some thought the Ravens would get something done here, not known for letting great players hit the open market, but they certainly did, and not the only Ravens player out there. The Giants have, just in the past hour or so, moving to get Isaiah Likely, the Ravens tight end, 3 years, $40 million deal. There he is, Giants. You know him, kind of a tall, lanky-looking, smooth player, and the Ravens obviously have two very functional tight ends, and so they'll be okay.
He's back with John Harbaugh and Matt Nagy, who knows how to use a tight end in Travis Kelce. So watch out.
Yeah, we are hearing for a while. There was a thought that, oh my gosh, Travis Kelce, they're talking to other people. And I think they were trying to kind of see if they could get that money up just a little bit, but all signs point toward Travis Kelce being back with the Chiefs, as if we thought it was going to be any other way. I mean, there are some very, very surprising people that you didn't think would get away, that have gotten away, like we just mentioned, like Tyler Linderbaum. Man, Kevin, I'll let you announce this one. The large deal, the Colts were able to hold on to their wide receiver in a related move, by the way. The Colts are sending wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. to the Steelers. So if Aaron Rodgers chooses to play this next season, Michael Pittman Jr., he'll have him out there, and Mike McCarthy will be able to use him. But the Colts needed all the money they could have. Kev, tell us who the Colts were able to retain today. And I told you, I said, hey, you just never know. I mean, it looked like he was going to hit free agency, and I guess he didn't really, obviously, but he was at least listening to other things. And I think the Colts basically kind of let him maybe quickly test the market. And the Colts said, we got you, baby. We want you to stay. You mean a lot to us. Kev, what were the Colts able to do today?
So it sounds like this deal was done maybe a couple days ago, and they held on to it for the start of free agency. And Alec Pierce,
there he is,
potentially the number one receiver in free agency this year, stays in Indianapolis, a record-setting free agent wide receiver deal, $116 million over 4 years.
Okay.
He said he loves Indianapolis, loves the city, wanted to stay there. His old teammate from college, Sauce Gardner, just signed last year with the Colts, brings them back together. And, little known fact, his brother just signed to play college basketball for Purdue next year. So Midwest kid stays in the Midwest.
Nice.
And keeps it in Indianapolis.
Okay. In a second, we're going to talk about, so congratulations there, Kev, and we'll have more on kind of what the Colts are up to. One of their former linebackers was on the move over the weekend, but today was the day the news started rolling out, including the Cowboys. And so we'll jump right in there. That's what we're going to talk about for a lot of the first segment. We will do some Campus Confidential coming up at about 1:35, and we'll talk about some of this college basketball over the weekend, even last night. You had the ASUN and the WCC. And then I love the fact that Wayne Tinkle from the whatever they are now, I guess Oregon State will be in this new fangled Pac-12 that they're bringing back out, but they've been in this West Coast Conference. Wayne Tinkle advancing to the semifinal, I think. That'd be hilarious if Oregon State won this thing after he gets fired and then he gets to go to the tournament. It has happened before. I did want to say, Todd Archer about 20 minutes ago said the Cowboys have been in contact with Arizona safety Jalen Thompson today, one of the more sought-after safeties, has familiarity with secondary Ryan Smith. So I may have just said Arizona State because I was thinking about college. Arizona safety Jalen Thompson. All right. Very interesting. I mean, we'll look more on him. They did get some housekeeping stuff done before they started trying to go after free agents. And they got Malik Hooker signed to a new kind of restructuring. And so they continue to restructure these deals. Now, today, and a lot of this is tied in to Max Crosby, who the Cowboys were talking to, but over the weekend, I guess this came down Friday evening. That was the big news. The Ravens go in and get Max Crosby. There's Kevin, I think, putting out, or somebody with the boom, Denzel from Training Day. But that comes out, and this is scary. I was sitting there, Kevin, with all these new coaches, I'm like, wait, who's coaching them? Who's their new head coach? Jesse Minter, who had been with Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers, and had been with Harbaugh when he won the national championship at Michigan. He's now the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. Still kind of weird to me. You'd move on from the great Harbaugh and go with this Jesse Minter. But, man, what a huge deal. They give up 2 ones to get the great Max Crosby. Cowboys were in there slugging away. They wanted Max Crosby, but they were not willing to do the 2 picks. They wanted to do a 1 and a 2. A 1 and a 2. Sounds like an old Lawrence Welk show. But they wanted to do – Cowboys were trying to get Max Crosby. They did not land him, which made everybody else think, Tyler Hendrickson. Okay, let's move in. Let's go after him. No. It's a player who had that weird story the other day, Kevin. As we were getting off the air, we were dealing with it. He put up a goodbye, but then said that he had been hacked somehow, and that was not his goodbye. Very, very strange. But, Kevin, Rashawn Gary is headed to the Dallas Cowboys. The Packers edge rusher across from Micah. And I will tell you, the guy started the season beautifully. First, 7 games of the season, he's got 7.5 sacks. He's rolling, man. He's rolling. He's having a great start to the season. Last 10 games, didn't have a sack. Had a lot of, his pressure rate was good. Had plenty of pressures this season. I don't know why the productivity went down in the second half of the season. He was on a great pace to start the season. He was there. And then as Kevin shows there, he will be reuniting with Kenny Clark, Cowboys defensive tackle. And, of course, the Cowboys are loaded right now at defensive tackle with Osa, Quinnen Williams, and Kenny Clark. And Kenny Clark's already put it out there, something about Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary, if I remember correctly, Kevin, played for Michigan back in the day. Rashawn Gary's 28. When it was reported that he was going to be released last week, Kevin, we did a whole thing on it. We were just like, man, this guy's good. A 28-year-old free, guy that you're just going to let go to the street. In the end, they didn't. They didn't let him just go to the street. Cowboys did have to give up a 4th-round pick in next year's draft. Not the worst thing in the world. And you get him on a non-guaranteed. It's like 2 years. I think one of the years it'll be like 18 million. One of them is 21 million, but none of that's guaranteed. All his guaranteed signing bonus money has already been paid out by the Packers. So you're basically getting it could be viewed as a 1-year rental. If he's great, keep him around. Keep him around for another season. If he's not, you can move on from him. So I really see mostly upside to this deal. And you say, well, man, what about what he's going to do to the cap? That cap number is going to be kind of high. Well, hey, you might have been noticing they're restructuring everybody. Who's to say they couldn't restructure his deal and just kind of turn that money into basically like a signing bonus, and you could probably end up saving, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of $8 to $10 million against the cap. If my math's right in my head, I probably should write these things down, show my work, but I do think you could save some money. You could save $6 to $8 million against the cap and get the deal done. I mean, I'm looking at stuff today, Kevin. Some of these tweets I was sending you, I don't really see much downside here. When it comes to pressure rate, number of sacks, a lot of the metrics we look at now, he's right up there with some of the best. And people will go, well, sacks, he's a top 10, top 15. I think they had him PFF or something, maybe had him in terms of like what he's done over the last few years. He's not putting up Crosby-like numbers. Few people are. He's not putting up Micah numbers. Few people are. It's very interesting that the Cowboys are doing so much with the Packers right now. They got those 2 first-rounders. They got Kenny Clark for Micah, and now they're doing this thing with Rashawn Gary. His numbers are fine. I would say it is concerning that in the last 10 games last season, just from a sack perspective, he may have been fine against the run. I think the pressures were okay, but sacks weren't there. And I don't know exactly what happened. You go, well, that's when Micah got hurt. Maybe maybe he needs somebody to be really good across from him. That's why I don't think this is done. This is not like, oh, we've got our new Micah Parsons. No, not really. I think Hendricks is going to be too much money, but it doesn't mean you can't look at some of these other players. Now, the problem is, Kev, they're coming off the board now. Every time I look, there's a new one off the board, so you got to be a little careful. The thing I said about Archer was that the Arizona safety Jalen Thompson, that's an interesting deal that the Cowboys are at least taking a peek at right now. Now, Kev, this isn't totally fair to your man Alec Pierce. I do love I love the per season, per catch, per completion. Love what he does. So this is not a knock on him, but it is interesting. Pierce and Pickens is kind of a little interesting comparison. Pierce and Pickens are going to make close to the same thing next year if Pickens plays on the franchise tag. Pierce would have just a little bit more, by about a 1.7 mil more, $29 million a year. Pickens is at $27.3 million on the franchise tag. They've both played about 64 games. Pickens has played 65. Pierce has played 64. Pierce has, and this will not shock you, Kev, because Pierce puts up huge per catch. But if you're just looking at catches, Pickens has 267, Pierce has 157. If you're looking at yards, Pickens over the same number of games, basically 4,270 yards. So he's got about almost 1,300 yards more than Pierce. Pierce has 17 touchdowns, Pickens 21 touchdowns. So the numbers are much higher for Pickens. Now, I would just say Pierce didn't really just completely break out until these past two seasons. So he had two monster seasons. Pickens had a monster season this past year, but he had 3 or 4 years, like 3 years with the Steelers, where he was putting up big numbers. I just thought that was an interesting one. Kev, we did have, let's hit the breaking news. Malik Willis did sign with the Dolphins. The Packers quarterback, this was by some measure the top free agent. You know, you ended up giving a huge trade to Max Crosby, so that's not a free agent deal. Malik Willis, because of the position he plays, is going to be viewed as a top, maybe the top free agent. All right, I'm fine with that. And I just wanted to make sure I had these numbers right. Malik Willis, 3 years, $67.5 million. $45 million of it fully guaranteed. He had the great David Mulligetta, same guy who had Micah, same guy, the man who gets under Jerry's skin, the man Jerry didn't know his name, David Mulligetta, another big Mulligetta deal out there, and we'll see. Kev, where did I see Tua going? Is Tua, has that?
It is unofficial, but it is highly rumored and thought that he, let me pull up the image, is headed to the Falcons.
Okay. So
that
basically,
is anticipated where he's going to head. And again, this is another very similar to Russ to the Steelers, and this year, who else got Kyler? Somebody else is picking up the tab on his contract, right? The Dolphins still owe him $59 million. So the Falcons are going to get a deal, and that would mean 2 left-handed quarterbacks in the same room with him and Penix.
Very, very.
When's the last time that's happened?
Kenny Stabler and somebody. Left-handed quarterback. I don't know. Now you'll get me to racking my brain.
Steve Young and somebody.
What did you think though about Malik Willis to the Dolphins? I mean, obviously it did not work out with Tua. Not the least of which, I mean, it went south after he had put up some huge numbers with that strange coach who is now with the Los Angeles Chargers. I got to say, I mean, now this is a guy that honestly was with the Titans was kind of like, is this guy even an NFL quarterback? He goes to the Packers, kind of gets his confidence, gets his feet under him, and then when he gets a chance to perform, he performed really well. This is, as was often happens with quarterbacks, it's a pretty big deal and a lot of money guaranteed for a guy who hasn't really done much in the NFL yet.
But I think this has to do with the coach. Remember, Jeff Hafley came from the Packers to take the head coaching job with the Dolphins. This is somebody he has known. He has helped shape the trajectory. And really, you think about $67 million and $45 million guaranteed. That's actually for a starting quarterback in the NFL, that's actually a pretty good deal. It's a lot guaranteed, especially when you're still paying Tua $59. But, in the grand scheme, this is still a pretty good deal for a starting quarterback.
Okay, and the Titans, who I just mentioned, this is interesting. The Saints have signed running back Travis Etienne. I mean, that's an interesting one there. I'm trying to imagine, thinking about their running. Is that for the one I just announced, or do you have another one for me?
That's for that one.
Okay,
and there's
good.
another one, and there's more. There's always more, you know.
Yeah. Do you want to do the Jets one? Which one did you want to do there? I've got one. I got a new Jets defensive tackle to talk about.
I was saying the Titans, Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yeah. I was about to say that, and the it's interesting. I thought he had turned himself into I thought he was just kind of a guy, and he may end up being just a guy. But first of all, he's great against the Cowboys. He's great on third downs. I think Wan'Dale Robinson's become a nice receiver. I mean, he's not a number one. I mean, if I were the Giants, man, I would have loved keeping him right there next to Neighbors. I mean, I thought Wan'Dale had stepped up in a big way for the Giants this season. Cowboys got an up close look to him, and he put it on them. The Jets have agreed to terms with veteran defensive tackle David Onyemata on a 1-year, $10.5 million deal. That's 9.65 guaranteed. Native of Nigeria, introduced to football in college in Canada, signs another lucrative deal done by Carter Chow. All right. I wonder if he's Norm Chow, the old offensive coordinator from like the Titans or whatever. I wonder if it's his son. Could be. David Edwards, Kev, gets a deal worth upwards of $15 million per year. That's I was talking about the Saints making a splash. They signed the former Bills guard, David Edwards. Wow. I mean, it's good. It's a lot of money, but that's a good player. I mean, that is a really good player. Sitting here, by the way, watching Etienne for when he was with the Jags. He's a pretty good player. I mean, this is now. Why is Wan'Dale Robinson going to the Titans? Well, look who their head coach was, and look where he is now. Brian Daboll is now the offensive coordinator with the Titans, so he's going to try to take some of his guys with him. Kiris Tonga, Chiefs have agreed to defensive tackle Kiris Tonga, 3-year, $21 million deal, $14 million of it guaranteed. All right, and that Etienne deal's a pretty nice deal. Kev, we'll need to do the math on this.
But you mentioned the Chiefs, and you mentioned a running back, but you didn't mention the two together, which is maybe the biggest deal done today, I would say.
Yeah, okay.
That is the Super Bowl MVP going to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
After they let almost their whole secondary go. But here we go. Now they get help up front for him. This is great.
What's the money on this one?
Oh,
third. Like teams used to really get the players used to get the Super Bowl bump. He may have. It doesn't really happen that much anymore. $28.7 million guaranteed. It's a 3-year deal worth $45 million. Wow. All right. Worth up to $45 million. What does this come down to per year? 3 years. Man, that comes, 14 or 15 million a year. That's a great. Although again, it's up to that 45 million. So I think that I'm a little high on that number, but 19 million. Walker confirmed the NFL Network putting this deal out there by putting on X Chiefs Kingdom. And so they felt like he confirmed the deal. Walker's agent, David Cantor, also confirmed the news on X. He's the first Super Bowl. He's just the fourth Super Bowl MVP to begin the following season with a new team, and first since Tampa Bay safety Dexter Johnson. After winning the MVP honors following the 2002 season, he signed with the Cardinals. He was playing at the time for Tampa Bay when they beat the Raiders in that Super Bowl 2002. Larry Brown did it for the Cowboys, Super Bowl MVP, and then Larry Brown got a big deal from Al Davis and the Oakland Raiders, as I recall. I think they were at Oakland at the time. But Larry Brown, yeah, got the big time Super Bowl MVP bump. It happens. All right, let me give you a couple more. Bears sign safety Kobe Bryant. Played at, I remember him at KU. He's another guy that they get off a Super Bowl team coming from the Seahawks. Those Seahawks players are highly coveted. You win the Super Bowl, and that was a good secondary. That was a nice secondary. Eamon Wari might be the most all-around versatile guy on that team. I mean, I loved watching him, but Kobe Bryant was a good player for the Seahawks. Jets linebacker. Jets get Demario Davis for 2 years, $22 million. And I told you about the Ravens. Let's see here. The Packers just keep. I mean, I'm trying to think where did Kingsley Enagbare go, Kev? He got a 1 year, $10 million deal. I feel like the Packers just keep losing edge rushers. And they're going to not have Micah back until after the first month of the season. So, wow. I mean, that is really – the Cardinals got Tyler Algier. He's been in Atlanta for the past few seasons. That's a 2 year, $12.25 million deal. Love him. Loved him at BYU. Loved the heart he plays with, the hustle. Remember him running down a guy one time, like every coach in the world was trying to show their players that deal. I mean, I really like Tyler Algier. That's a good deal. That's a pretty nice deal on that one. All right, Kev, did you have any others? I didn't say all of them. Mitchell Trubisky has a new team. These quarterbacks.
The Raiders not only fortified the center of their line with the big deal for the interior lineman, but they also gave Fernando Mendoza a new weapon. Jalen Naylor from the Vikings is coming over. So he not only has some more protection up front, but also another weapon.
I kind of like that guy. Jalen Naylor. I have to look at the numbers.
He kind of reminds me a little bit of a Elijah Surratt kind of player. Not too flashy, but when you need him, he's there.
Yeah. Or like Charlie B from Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, Charlie B is a little bit more like Alec Pierce with those big balls, but yeah.
That's a very awkward thing you just said.
You're welcome.
Okay, why don't you call him a home run ball? Well, that sounds weird. All of it sounds weird. Okay. Hey, by the way, statement just came in from Adam Schefter on Mike Evans' decision to depart Tampa. This just comes from his agent, Derek Gilmore. After 12 remarkable seasons in Tampa, Mike Evans felt a desire to challenge himself with a new chapter in the final stage of his career. Throughout his entire career, he has pushed himself to grow, compete, and evolve as a player, and his decision reflects that same mindset. He has tremendous love and respect for the Bucs organization. the Glazer family, the coaches, his teammates, especially the fans of Tampa. Tampa will always be home to him. He's deeply proud of everything they've accomplished. Wow.
So where's he going?
They said, this is the longest agent thing ever, by the way.
Oh, you ready? He is going.
Yeah, I know where he's going. You
to
can
the
say it, though.
San Francisco 49ers.
He's expected to sign with the 49ers 3-year deal. A 3-year deal. All these things will happen Wednesday. 6-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Mike Evans goes to play with Purdy. Wow. Man, leaving our man Baker to go play for Brock Purdy. Going from one Big 12 school, used to be a Big 12 quarterback, to another Big 12 quarterback. Wow. That is really interesting. Do you realize, Kev, when you brought up Naylor, I didn't have this in front of me. Do you realize how much of Naylor's contract is guaranteed? Did you happen to see this?
No, how much?
$23 million guaranteed for Jalen Naylor.
It's good to have Vegas money.
Wow. That's a 3-year, $35 million deal. Jeez. And that former Bills guard, David Edwards, who signed the deal with the Saints, that's 4-year, $61 million deal. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's a good player. Eagles wide receiver Jahan Dotson did reach an agreement today with the Falcons on a 2-year, $15 million deal worth up to $17 million, including $10 million fully guaranteed. It's always kind of funny in free agency, Kev. Like Jahan Dotson is not. I think Naylor's better, but that's got to be interesting to him. It's like he gets a $10 million guaranteed. Naylor gets $23 million. Is Naylor that much better? I don't know. Maybe. I feel like the Saints are doing some interesting things. They're getting that running game going. Etienne's in there. They just restructured Kamara. Whoa. Oh, and I got Wan'Dale's deal. 4 years, $78 million. $38 million guaranteed. $38 million for Wan'Dale Robinson. Wow. Just when you think the market can't just continue to explode. The NFL doesn't play by anybody's rules. Wan'Dale Robinson, third down merchant. Really, really good possession receiver who I think can obviously showed against Cowboys he can catch deep balls as well. I like Wan'Dale Robinson a lot. $38 million guaranteed? No, sir. But they somehow determined that was the going rate. That's what he had to put up. $38 million for Wan'Dale Robinson. Wow. I bet those former greats, don't you know, like Michael Irvin and others, just see that and they're just like, what? Wan'Dale who? Wow. That is a lot. All right. If you think about it, that Ravens got Crosby and they got Linderbaum. Excuse me. They traded for Max Crosby from the Raiders, and the Raiders then took Tyler Linderbaum from them. So it's an interesting little swap there. Before today, as I told you earlier, Tyler Smith was the NFL's highest paid interior offensive lineman with a deal that averaged $24 million per year. Linderbaum's deal averages $27 million per year. Raise your kids. I would usually say make them deep snappers, keep them healthy, make them kickers, make them specialists. But if you're not, if you do want your kid to get their head beat in, 27 million per year might do the trick. It might do the trick. All right, let's do some Campus Confidential. Let's do it next.
When you strive for greatness, you have a target on your back. When it comes to finances, we're all targets for scammers. But with the right game plan, you can protect yourself. Don't get faked by fraud.
Here's a tip. If you get a call saying they're going to lock you in jail for missing jury duty unless you pay a fine, that's fake. Scammers use scare tactics to force you to act without thinking. Just hang up the phone.
This message is brought to you by Central National Bank.
The reason that their service is outstanding is because the people they have working, behind the desk and the folks working out in the garage, taking care of business. And they give you a date, they give you a time, and they're spot on. And they're professional, they take care of it, and they answer all your questions, and they're fun to work with.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Bubble wasn't here. I don't know what people would be doing, like making PowerPoints or something. I love that I can sit down and build something the way that I think it should be built.
Bubble turns ideas into fully scalable apps. Try Bubble today.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
Better sleep, inspired by nature. Your back, hips, and shoulders will fall into perfect alignment in any position, meaning that you get deeper, more comfortable rest. Visit ecoterrabeds.com.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious.
Is your Mac running slow? Mac Booster 8 is your all-in-one solution to clean up 20 types of junk files. Get your Mac running like new again with Mac Booster 8. Visit macboost.net today.
I know you're gonna love this Kodak Dot Plus printer. You guys just connect it to your smartphone. I can assure you, you are going to love this printer as much as my family has. You guys have to check it out for yourself.
At Mapiful, we believe in celebrating your journey. Our unique personalized products are designed to boost your confidence. From custom home decor to meaningful gifts, we help you cherish the memories that make you who you are. Visit mapiful.com and start celebrating your story today.
All right, be careful out there because people throw stuff out this time of year on this NFL free agency. Be very careful. And somebody, I don't understand who. There's one person, Kev, you may have seen him. I don't follow him because I feel like there's wrong information. It's at Ricky Scoops. Boy, he was all over. He had Hendrickson, coming to the Cowboys. Now Chad Johnson, talking about Ocho Cinco, is now trying to say, an hour ago, he said Trey Hendrickson will end up a Cowboy. I'm seeing all kinds of like Hendrickson stuff, but it all looks fake.
Yeah, it's fake. The best place for him is with his old coach with the Colts. So,
What's that?
It's all fake. The best place for him is with his old defensive coordinator with the Colts. So, just leave it at that.
Okay. Kevin's deciding Hendrickson should just come to the Colts. Was going to see real quick if we had any more, and we're going to get to Campus Confidential. I'm very excited about that. The Bears, a couple of minutes ago, according to Ian Rappaport, continue to add on defense, agreeing to terms with free agent linebacker Devin Bush on a 3-year, $30 million deal. Okay. Free agent linebacker Devin Bush. I'm trying to remember where I remember Devin Bush. Okay, that's interesting. Browns? I don't remember him somewhere else. Anyway, I tell you what, Mike Evans leaving Tampa is a pretty dang big story. I mean, he's been a great player for a really, really long time. Programming announcement, Kev, looks like about I'm trying to think when we'll play it tomorrow. Probably about 2:30, and we'll tease it all day. Looks like A&M basketball coach Bucky McMillan will join us tomorrow. I've been after him for a while, and it's Kev, it's why you just got to have to stay after things. I had kind of given up, and I just on a whim shot one more text the other day, and she was like, yeah, I think we can make that happen. So I don't know, but somebody has helped us, Kev, and Bucky Ball wants to come on with us, the Texas A&M basketball coach. I find him to be a fascinating story and a fascinating person. And so we'll get into it with Bucky Ball, and we'll do that tomorrow, and we'll run that about 2:20 or 2:30. May finish the show with that tomorrow. Very, very exciting news as Bucky Ball comes to the Mosley Show. Kev, I also wanted to mention Patient Direct. And that's Patient First Direct Primary Care. And it's just, they do a really good job. No insurance, no surprise bills, longer visits, just direct access, a modern alternative to the traditional insurance-based system. And they're very transparent about their pricing. And they, I don't know, it sounds kind of like almost like a concierge type service, but you go by and they take really good care of you. So we're happy to have them as partners and wanted to mention them. And then, Kevin, at some point today, I'll remind everybody of that big memorabilia, that card show coming up. It's going to happen over at the Texas Sports Hall of Fame. That'll be a pretty cool thing to attend. All right, we'll get back into the NFL, but right now with Kevin Hoosier Hall, a man whose Indiana Hoosiers have just kind of gone quietly into the night here at the end of the season. Kevin, Wisconsin has not. Those Badgers, I'll tell you what they do. They like knocking off the big dogs. They're not a great team, but they've got like 4 incredible wins this year. So let's give
and a loss to the Hoosiers, but so yes, the Purdue was upset by Wisconsin at home. Louisville beat Miami. Marquette surprised UConn. So what does all of this mean at this point in the season heading into the conference championships?
Well, I think it just kind of throws everything into the one thing I'll tell you, and this speaks to us not needing to expand the NCAA basketball tournament. Almost every team on the bubble lost. Just up and down the bubble.
I saw
it
somebody
was unbelievable.
say there were nine different games, and all 9 of those teams lost, including
the only team that pulled it out that's kind of been on the bubble were the Texas A&M Fighting Ags. It took 3 overtimes. I watched that game, man. That was the dangest thing. They beat LSU in 3 overtimes. Let me tell you about the crowd that showed up in Baton Rouge for that one, Kev. It'd be like you and I just going to one of the little Bible churches there, actually, I don't want to do the Bible churches wrong. But just if we found something like, hey, what are they doing over at Missionary Baptist today? What are they doing over in just kind of a smaller church? Good church, but just a very small attendance. that's, Kevin, I can see you. You're a man that likes a good church plant, and you kind of like a little bit of a church that's off the beaten path. You don't strike me as a guy who loves the mega church, the huge church. That's about what it was like at LSU, was just dropping by, and you just got, hey, we got 30 of our friends, and we got a few people in the youth group. We got about 7 or 8 people in the youth group, and this is our church. That was what it was like over at Pete Maravich. It's really sad, because the Maravich Center at LSU for the women's games is just rocking. All right, let's get 14 in here, and let's let this thing rock. The men the other night, if you'd have told me, well, there were only 1,800 people in there, I would have believed you. It's about. I don't know what they announced. My gut tells me they announced that there were like 4,000 or 5,000 there. I bet there were like 2,400, if that. And you just kind of wander down there and sit courtside if you wanted. How is LSU so great at some stuff and so horrible at men's basketball? What's the deal? I mean, you don't have NIL budget? Okay, maybe not. Maybe not.
All the money goes to football.
They're great at baseball.
Nick Saban and Urban Meyer
They're great at women's
Capitol Hill
basketball
about right now.
You don't think all the money, a bunch of the money goes to women's basketball? You think Kim doesn't have any money? It's not just football, man. They do well, although baseball right now is a little bit of a pickle. They've lost like 5 out of the last 6. Way to go, Baylor baseball, by the way.
Yes,
the
Bears
am
undefeated as a baseball PA announcer.
Were all the names fairly easy to say for Air Force and Baylor?
Yeah.
You had to go with Janusek, Brady Janusek.
There were
the young freshman.
Air Force has a need noggle, but the is an A. So, but they let me know. Sorted it out. Air Force coach is Kozlowski. So, not too unfamiliar in these parts with the Polish and Czech. So, it's all good.
Did you get to meet any people that associated with the Air Force team? Did anybody ever come through there and you were like, hey, nice to meet you?
No, the SID came by for the pronunciation. Other than that, I set up in my perch and, watched it all happen and made, comments about it, introduced some players and did a dizzy bat game and, there you go.
I heard during the national anthem, the Air Force players, do that, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
Because these are enlisted men, right? I mean, these are big time. They're going to come out of there as officers in the U.S. Air Force.
That's right.
And they'll go. Yeah.
They presented the colors, and that was no joke. It was for real.
Well, I think they did, which was smart. Baylor did recognize the service folks.
Yes,
with Air Force being in town.
Yes, it was hometown hero weekend, and on Friday night, the biggest night, they highlighted all Air Force people just to kind of yep.
We should. So, that's good.
Yeah, this is great.
That's good. All right, buddy. What else do we have in Campus Confidential?
Yes. So the new top 25 is out, and so let's take a look at that. Florida finally jumps up into the top 4. It would be a 1 seed as it ended right now. UConn, surprisingly, still at 6, so the Marquette loss wasn't affected that much. I still don't know why St. John's is really that high. Who knows what St. John's is. Anything else surprise you about any of this? Wisconsin jumped up in there.
Well, they didn't ding Michigan State too much for that loss. Boy, Izzo. I thought you'd show that. Izzo was not. I guess the students. Izzo's like too old and too great of a coach to be worried about the students calling them. I don't know what they said, but he was so torn up by that. Acting like they were. I forget what they were chanting, but why would that even bother you?
I mean, you don't want to get into Jerome Tang territory.
I don't believe in Virginia. I love seeing the kid celebrated. Hoiberg's son, the brother who's like a coach somewhere, showed up. Kind of like to surprise his brother. That was neat. I can't figure out St. John's. They're awesome one game, horrible the next. I don't trust Kansas at all. Tech, sadly, the topping thing is kind of catching up with them right now. Yes, that's right. Michigan, thank you, Scotty B. Michigan was calling Izzo and his players, like little brother syndrome, the little brother to Michigan, which is not that big of a deal.
I told you the Michigan State Michigan basketball thing is the basketball version of Michigan Ohio State football.
Yeah, but not even close. They do not like
each other in basketball.
Not even close to that. But I agree with you, and it kills Izzo a little bit because this Dusty May that's a coach. You screw around with these former NBA guys, you always get burned. At this time of year, and you start looking at all the guys getting fired, it'll be like Damon Stoudemire, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, if you hire an NBA guy, you're probably going to have to fire him pretty quickly after that. It rarely works out. I mean, it's time for Memphis. It's amazing that Penny made it as long as he did, but it's probably time for Memphis to move on from him. Okay, the teams that are ranked too low. Arkansas.
Okay.
Is
Acuff
Wisconsin?
Is Acuff the most untalked about guard that should be talked about?
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome. But I sat down to watch him the other day and he didn't play. He's not like Peterson. He's not trying to sit out. He's a tough guy. And Duke beat North Carolina, but the bigger story was Blue Devils lost a couple of players. Foster and can't remember the other one. They're still good, but they lost two key players. And there's some thought, they're probably not going to play them in the ACC tournament. We'll see if they're available for the NCAA tournament. That one is a little worrisome. I don't think the voters have any clue what to do with Iowa State. Because if you think about it, they've just basically left them there for weeks.
Right.
And along the way, they've had bad losses, right? I mean, like Tech, without Toppin, goes to Ames and just puts it on them. And the voters are just like, let's leave them at number 7. All right. I don't know if they're that good. I'm having a hard time getting used to. I think Virginia actually has an offense now. Tony Bennett for years, they just played great defense, and they'd score about 60 points a game. I think they can actually play offense. That's a good coach they hired. Odom, I think his name is that Ryan Odom? By the way, is that Dave Odom's son, now that I think about it? Maybe Dave Odom's son. What's interesting is
Yep, that is correct.
Everybody makes so much of like how supposedly great the SEC is. Look at that. I mean, they have one great team. I mean, Bama and Arkansas are fine, but they don't really have. I mean, I can only make an argument for Florida to win the title. In the Big 12, I think that Arizona could. I think U of H could. And I think, I still think, if Peterson if they ever reach their ceiling, they could be good. I did like seeing that kid, Melvin Council. He hadn't even been there long. Down there at senior day the other day, Kev, kissing the court, kissing the floor. Like, I think, again, these guys move around a lot, so it's hard to get to know them as much, but that kid loves Kansas. Just because he's played at other places doesn't mean he doesn't love Kansas. Down there kissing the floor. I was so ready to get out of high school basketball. I wasn't kissing anything. Just get me out of here. I'm tired of getting beat. I'm tired of Wilmer Hutchins and Lancaster. You remember, Kev, you were probably a little bit too young to remember Bobby Hurley and all that gang.
I remember the whole
at
thing.
Duke.
Yep. Oh,
well, they had a great player on their team named Thomas Hill, and he was on the team with Grant and Christian Leitner and Brian Davis and all those guys.
The other Hill.
Correct, but he was a great Hill. But he played for Lancaster. Well, I played against his little brother, Lamont Hill, who went to the University of Texas to play. And, oh, my gosh. The trap they used to set on you was just one of the scariest things you can imagine. I mean, once they'd set that trap on you, we would prepare for it by having 10 like JV players play against our press break, and it still didn't prepare us. They were so good. Anything jump out at you on this top 25?
Not really. I mean, Wisconsin's in there. Good for them. I don't know if that is fitting for them. I'm with you. Tennessee, Vandy, neither one that I think that I trust long term. But it leads to the next question that I have, which is, who do you think has the most to win and gain in the conference tournaments coming up?
Well, outside of the teams that need to win it all to get in, I mean, you could say Baylor has the most to gain and I saw our buddies at Sickle 365 had like a headline up, can Baylor make a run? Well, they never have with much better teams than this. So, I don't think I would bet on that. In fact, from a betting standpoint, they're right there with Colorado and Utah. They're just, considered an enormous long shot, although they have been playing better. I have to say that. Most to gain, I don't really think there's anybody in the Big 12 the only team that could possibly kind of play themselves in, Cincinnati went on such a run that if Cincinnati went deep in the Big 12 tournament, they'd have a ton to gain. I do think they could sneak into the tournament by getting to the final. I think they'd almost have to get to the final.
Yeah.
The TCU's in. West Virginia, if they got to the final, it'd be a close call. So West Virginia and Cincinnati are kind of the same boat in that. So I would say Big 12-wise, they have the most to gain. The rest of them aren't really like. If Tech has a great run, it'd be kind of fun, but I don't think the committee's going to go, oh my gosh, without JT Toppin, let's put them as a 3 seed or 2 seed, and it's not going to happen. So everything is pretty much set up there. I think the only thing that would be interesting would be, could Florida lose in the SEC tournament and U of H wins the Big 12 tournament? Would they jump Florida? And the truth is, as much as I would love that, I don't think that would be fair. I don't think it's fair to penalize. Florida has dominated its conference. U of H usually does, but it has not this season. So I don't think it would be fair if U of H wins it all to make them a number 1 seed. If they win, when I say win it all, I mean win the Big 12 tournament. Boy, you would love it, Kevin. I'm a connoisseur of the Big 12 tournament. I've been several times. You would love it, man. There's a lot of fun stuff going on there.
I don't love Kansas City, but
I don't know what to tell you on that, but I'm just, I don't really go to these tournaments for the city. I was at Indianapolis. No offense to you, but I was there to watch Baylor in Final Four. It wasn't like, I'm going to go get my shrimp cocktail on.
And I've
the
told you.
The only time I went for NCAA tournament, and I just had the greatest experience with the city, was the first 2 rounds for Baylor being in New Orleans.
Okay.
We had one of the greatest times. And it wasn't like, oh, Mosley and his buddies got wild. Not really. Not really. It was more just the weather was gorgeous. And New Orleans, when the weather's gorgeous, you can kind of get away from the Bourbon Street mess and get over to like Magazine or St. Charles, where they're running those trolleys.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty neat place to be.
Yeah.
Over there in the museum district and stuff.
My offer still stands. We go to the combine. I will do my best to make you fall in love with Indianapolis. So who then do you think has the most to lose in the conference tournaments coming up? You mentioned a few different scenarios there.
Huskies, if they lose out, could keep dropping down a little bit. They've squandered a number 1 seed. Hurley's losing it, as he tends to do. The man he struggles. I love that box. I love that deal the other day that showed it was like at the same time they were showing him getting tossed with 0.4 left and his brother Bobby getting a tech in the Arizona State game. Who did Baylor beat the other day? That was pretty good.
Utah, right?
Yeah. I like that. I got to tell you, I think Toon Day is awesome. It's like, it really is weird.
I saw him in the top 10 of potential draft picks now on the draft board.
I hadn't seen that. You have to show me where you saw that.
The other day, but
you're seeing things.
It's probably the whatever account that you said is giving false information. It's probably
mushrooms. It's mushrooms you're doing.
No.
I'm not talking about the kind that are on pizzas. Oh, I think you would like that Roger stuff, that ayahuasca stuff. That's pretty good stuff. That looks like interesting stuff. I just don't even know. I don't think it's legal here. It just does not.
No, not in the States at all. You have to go like somewhere to like go out Guatemala or something like that.
But isn't it kind of? Aren't there some like benefits from it, or people think, or something?
I mean, it's a natural substance, But
do you think it's stronger than melatonin?
I would imagine probably so.
Ayahuasca. All right, buddy. What else do we have? This has been a strong showing by you.
Yeah.
What else do you have in Campus
that is
Confidential?
it. I mean, it's all college basketball this time of year. It just is. I'm already plotting. So my TV is right here. I'm actually watching free agent news as we speak, just to make sure I don't miss anything. So I'm already
surprised
plotting.
you hadn't had any breaking news here.
It's kind of died down a little bit. The latest is Zion Johnson going to the Browns, Chargers guard. So it's kind of died down a little bit. We haven't touched on everything. We can touch on that after we take a break. But I speaking of college basketball, I'm plotting how I'm going to produce the show next Thursday and Friday, and simultaneously watch multiple college basketball games at the same time.
Yeah, we might.
And
we're gonna be. If there's a way like we could almost do.
We're gonna be at the Landing next Wednesday.
Wow, the day before the tournament.
Yeah.
Well, they'll start that stupid thing.
Yeah.
First
the play.
Nobody cares about.
Yeah, but that won't be during our show. The other games on Thursday, Friday. And growing up in Indiana, it's like a holiday. Like every place I've worked at in Indiana, we come in, we have like a lunch kind of corporate company thing, and then all bets are off. We put games on.
Who does this?
Any company in Indianapolis. Indiana.
Hey, real quick, this is kind of interesting. Last college note. There were reports that the Texas State coach, was through. He was going to be fired.
Yeah.
They now say, Pete Thamel said this 18 minutes ago, Texas State officials have informed men's basketball coach Terrence Johnson that he'll return next year. Texas State won 8 of 10 games to close the season, finishing 19-13, tied for second in the Sun Belt. Texas State enters the Pac-12 next year. That's nice. They get to, it's a story about someone actually being retained after everything was pointing toward him maybe getting fired. Scotty says Indiana needs to make a push to make NCAA tournament. No, I think
correct.
They almost have to win it all, don't they? If they got to the championship game of the Big Ten tournament, would that put them in?
They would have to at least win 3 different games because they're going to play either Northwestern and Penn State, and then they're going to play Purdue if they beat them, and they've already beaten Purdue once this season. So,
is that one kid still averaging a ton of points? It was averaging like 28 points a game for a while.
Yeah, that was mainly based on 2 40-plus performances.
All right.
And then most of the games he hovers around 20. But
nice.
Everyone else doesn't act like they really want it, and they can't decide, including Tucker DeVries and Darren DeVries. But
Coach. Kevin is just being
the Indiana fans drive me crazy because they go, well, just give him more time. I'm like, you think you're going to get more out of your coach next year when he's not coaching his son than right now? That's laughable.
Wow. All right, Kev, let's go back over and let's look at some of these major free agent signings. It's happening in the NFL. People are calling me as we speak. I wonder who this is from a Cowboys area code from Frisco at the Star. Okay. We will discuss next.
Ready for a better kind of primary care?
At Patient First Direct Primary Care, you get unlimited office visits with same-day or next-day availability.
And instead of rushed appointments, we take the time to actually listen.
There are no insurance hassles, just clear, simple care.
You can reach us by phone or text because access shouldn't be complicated. Our practice has expanded to include Medicare-age patients as part of our direct primary care model.
It's a fresh alternative to the traditional insurance or government-driven systems, care that finally puts you first.
For more information, go to patientfirstdirect.com.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Streamline event and appointment booking with Amelia's sleek, modern, and fully customizable booking forms. WPAmelia.com. That's WPAMELIA.com. Amelia. Nalgene Outdoor has been your trusted companion, fueling adventures and helping protect the planet. We're committed to reducing waste, improving access to clean water, and providing simple, safe, and sustainable products for you and your family. NALGENE.com.
A house is a property, but we live in homes. Home sweet home. Homes where the heart is. We aim to deliver the best home buying and selling experience so you can spend less time real estating and more time living.
WhyPersonalLoans.com. Request a loan anytime. Our partners can offer loans up to $35,000 with varying rates and terms. Review your loan offer with no obligation and decide what works for you. Visit PersonalLoans.com today.
This is what $500,000 in a duffel bag looks like. Actually not real. That's because it's actually prop money. It looks realistic from a distance, but up close you can see it says for motion picture purposes. Visit PropMoney.com today to get your money seen or money shot right with Prop Money Inc.
With San, owning iconic furniture no longer requires paying a premium. With over 15,000 satisfied customers worldwide, we've proven that high-quality furniture doesn't have to come with a high price tag. Explore our collection today at sarn.com.
The U-Like Air 3, launched in 2023, ushers in a new era of sapphire ice cooling technology, offering nearly painless hair reduction in just 3 weeks. That's ULIKE.com. U-Like.
VivoSun's mission is to empower growers with stylish and effective products, making indoor growing accessible and enjoyable for everyone. Visit vivosun.com today and get started making growing plants and vegetables easy and automatic.
It is the Mosley Show, giving you all the free agent and information. Cowboys, and we'll get back into that. Rashawn Gary was the big news today. Cowboys in free agency signed the Packers. They traded for him, 4th-round pick in next year's draft for Rashawn Gary. They'll restructure that contract. It's 2 years of non-guaranteed money. They could do 1 year at basically $18 million and, just see what happens. I mean, he started out the year this past year with Micah playing on the other side like a house of fire. Rashawn Gary had about 7.5 sacks in the first 7 games. And then he kind of went quiet, went about 10 games without a sack. Still ended up with really good numbers over the past 2 seasons, 14 sacks, really good pressure rate. I think it's a pretty good deal, given that they didn't have to use one of those premium picks. I mean, as much as fun as it would to have Max Crosby with the Cowboys, and of course the Ravens gave up 2 picks, Max Crosby would have cost you. Boy, Kev, I got to tell you, I'm running on fumes because, and one thing, my daughter left for spring break this morning at 5, and I got up to kind of help she and her friends get off. In addition to that, this morning, my grandmother had a new pacemaker put in. You say, well, Mosley, you seem a little old to have a grandmother. Well, you may be right. She'll soon be 103. And the doctor, who appeared to be in his 60s, her heart doctor, said it was the oldest person he'd ever put a pacemaker in at age 102. So I was up there while that was happening, and she's doing okay. She came right out of it. And, when someone's 102, you don't want to put them too far under. So they were able to use the kind of anesthesiologist did a great job and kind of kept her at a, didn't like when I'm have to get a surgery, I want to be way out. And I think in her case, they kind of kept her near the surface. All right. Went in there, put a new pacemaker in. She had one in 2008, a new one in 2015, and now in 2026. And I think some people would say, it's this age, do you really need to put a new pacemaker in? And the answer is yes. Yes, she's still herself. She still can communicate and is a big part of our lives. So I don't know if it's the right thing or not, but I'm okay with it because she's still rolling at age 102. So why not give her the best shot to hang around a little bit longer? But anyway, Kev, but I've tried to bring the energy, even though I'm dealing with a major lack of sleep. I'm working on, I think I had about an hour and a half. Okay. So it's a bit of a struggle, but we're going to roll through this. And Kevin, if I take
my alarm went off at 4:30 this morning to go to my workout, and I realized that 2 days ago that was 3:30, and I was like, "Why is my alarm going off in the middle of the night?" I don't understand. But
is it because?
Well, I get up at
daylight
4:30
savings
to go
time?
hit the gym at 5.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well,
yep.
You probably, unlike me, actually go to sleep earlier, even though you have like 7 people in the house.
I try.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Hey, I got an update for you, Kev. Stay with me for a second on some of this football. And we'll get back into Rashawn Gary. I don't really see much downside to it. I mean, is he as good as Max Crosby? No. Is he as good as Hendrickson? No. And
But he's not as expensive.
Don't fall for the idiots out there that keep connecting the Cowboys with everybody. There's just some people trying to take advantage of you out there on the internet. I'm not going to mention their names, but that one guy calls himself something Scoops. I'm not going to say his name, but boy,
he's got bad scoops.
He's got bad scoops. Yeah. 49ers, Kev, are giving Mike Evans, this just came in a little bit ago, 3-year deal worth up to $60.4 million. I mean, he may not hit all of that, but if he does, whoa. We're talking about $20 million a year for a guy who's been around for 12 years, and they're saying...
And he does nothing except catch 1,000 yards per season. Every single season. That's what he does.
Okay, but you meant that as a compliment.
Yeah.
You just, the way you worded that, it sounded kind of like he
does nothing.
The only
except,
thing he does in life. Yeah.
He does nothing except do amazing things. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I would like to rewrite that sentence for you. Former Chargers guard Kevin had this news a little bit earlier. I can't remember, Kevin, you said this on air or off air. I think you said it on air.
Yep.
Zion Johnson reached agreement today on 3-year, $49.5 million deal. 32.4 of it is million guaranteed with the Browns, per his agents Alan Herman and Jared Fox. I mean, are the Chargers in position just to let big time offensive linemen walk? Are they that good? I didn't realize that. Okay. No. Former Bears defensive end Dominique Robinson, Neek, those of us in the business call him, is headed to Houston on a 1-year deal worth up to $4 million. Give me that. Give me that if he's decent at all. Take a little flyer on Dominique. What about Dom? Take a peek at him, Kev. Dom Robinson, former Bears defensive end. Tell me what kind of numbers if he's done anything. But the Texans are going to take a peek at him. You know, basically, you should think of Rashawn Gary as a younger Jadeveon Clowney. Cowboys had really good production from Jadeveon Clowney. For whatever reason, they decided, you know what, we're not going to go after bringing Jadeveon back. And if he was still out there and they could get him for almost nothing, yes, they would do it. But somebody will probably sign up Jadeveon Clowney at some point. Kevin's liking this picture of Rashawn Gary. There he is. There the young man is. 7 minutes ago, Titans are signing former Broncos defensive end John Franklin Myers. That's an interesting one because Jeremy Fowler reports that deal with the Titans is for 3 years, $63 million, $42 million guaranteed. Whoa! Goodness gracious. Kev, can we look up this man's numbers? We just had a young man, a defensive end, $42 million guaranteed, John Franklin Myers. Kev, look up John Franklin Myers' sack numbers over the past couple of seasons. Goodness gracious. Who is that? Saleh and Dayball. Whoa. The Titans are getting, it's like the daughters are finally waking up. Bud Adams' daughter, Amy Shrunk Adams, is just like, let's do some things.
2025 stats. He had a career high 7.5 sacks and 15 QB hits.
Okay. 7.5 sacks. Is that good enough for 3 years, $63 million, 42? See, that's the thing.
Well,
Cowboys didn't have to do that. Cowboys didn't have to do that.
Who else was in that defense? You got Benito, Stranad, all in. He didn't have a whole lot of room to work there. He only had 25 total tackles on the year. 7.5 of those are sacks.
Yeah, but he's also getting to play across from the guys you're talking about.
I'm just saying, when you
playing
got
across
that
from
much
Benito's
depth at that
pretty
position,
awesome. Yeah,
you may not
yeah.
see the field that much.
Man, maybe not. And you know, the Patriots did a good job of projecting what they thought Milton Williams would look like as an every down player. And that may be what the Titans are trying to do. It's just always weird when a team that's trying to emerge from the shadows that may or may not have a quarterback. I mean, we think that guy could be okay. We're not sure. Just throws down pretty big money on an unproven edge rusher. That's interesting. Okay, one more that grabbed my attention. Kev, former Ravens tight end Charlie Kolar is signing a 3-year, $24.3 million deal. 17. Kevin, look up Charlie Kolar's numbers, Kolar, please. This kid played at Iowa State. He was a great college tight end. I think he was number 11, maybe. God, he was great. He was a really good, and he's been pretty good in the pros too. $17 million guaranteed with the Chargers. Boy, Chargers have been very active. When you see an agent like this guy almost reminds me of some of these agents that aren't the big, huge names, or ones that maybe are plugged in to some of these former Iowa State guys. Well, I don't know. I don't know
numbers
for sure. Okay, give me
remember,
Charlie Kolar.
You got to remember, he played in the same offense as Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. So keep that in mind. He, last year, had 10 receptions for 142 yards and 2 touchdowns.
3 years, 24.3 for that. I'm familiar with the kid because I watched him play against Baylor.
Well, see, there you go.
He's pretty awesome. Well, I know, but still, you don't
when you're
do
in
it
the
on
same
like
offense
how a
as
guy
Mark
is
Andrews
in college.
And Isaiah Likely, you're not seeing the field.
I know, but you're still. I don't care. I mean, that's good. I'm not saying that's not good information. I'm saying though, that's a lot to commit, and maybe there was a market out there, but that just seems like a lot to commit to that. Wow, huge respect given there. Titans have done another deal, Kev. They have agreed to terms. Charge with cornerback Cordell Flott, Flott, on a 3-year, $45 million deal, $32 million fully guaranteed. Wow. These Giants players, Dayball's like, hey, this guy's good. This guy's pretty good. Cordell Flott, he's okay. He's fine. This is really interesting. Represented by David Mulligetta. David Mulligetta knows his way around these negotiations, all right? Once you outfox and get under the skin of the great Jerry Jones, hey, you gotta stand at attention at this man, David Mulligetta. There he is. Comes over from the Giants. Good player, pretty good player. Now they got involved in that barn burner against the Cowboys, and I'm trying to remember Flott's role in that. But right now, these things are coming out pretty quick. By the way, I want to give proper credit. Garofolo, longtime buddy of mine from the NFL Network, we'll have him on after the draft, after free agency is over, and we'll get him on, and that'll be fun. Also, Kev, this is a guy who was hurt at the end of the season. Broncos nearing an agreement with J.K. Dobbins. Broncos nearing an agreement with J.K. This is the Denver Broncos beat writer for Denver _ Bronco, Colorado guy covering Colorado's team. All right, listen, okay. I think that I recognize this young guy. Pretty good reporter. I think we'll take his word for it. Broncos nearing an agreement with J.K. Dobbins. Kevin, it'll be interesting to see what it is. I bet it would be a deal like what Eddie Etienne got signed for. Etienne did a deal. Kevin, am I right to say, was that a 2-year, $12.5 million deal? I'm trying to remember where Eddie Etienne's deal ended up. The two biggest deals out there right now are McCaffrey and Saquon. Third becomes the new deal that was done, Kenneth Walker III. All right. And
Etienne is 4 years, 52.
That's nice. It's 4 years. That's like 14 a year, right? All right. Kev, look this one up. I have not mentioned this one. Who did the Panthers had a big signing today. The Panthers went big money on, I think it was a defensive tackle, but Panthers went big on somebody. No. This is the defensive end. This is a pass rusher, Jalen Phillips. I thought this might be a guy Christian Parker took a long look at after having just been with the Eagles. We all know that they're interested in linebacker Nakobe Dean, but other teams are as well. Panthers in free agency sign Jalen Phillips. Kev, can you look up his numbers real quick? I think he's a good player. I really do. I mean, I think I'm not saying he's going to have huge numbers when Kevin looks it up, but I think he's a pressure player. I think he's all around the quarterbacks. I think he gets plenty of hits on the quarterback. I like the player. This is Jalen Phillips of now with the Carolina Panthers.
He had 5 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, and 4 passes defense and a forced fumble last year.
Yeah, Max Crosby had 28 for loss last year in a bit of a down season for him. He had 28 tackles for loss. Now, not everybody is Max. Now, Kev, will you look up his finances real quick on Jalen Phillips' deal that the Panthers did? They did that was a big deal on Jalen Phillips. Jeez. I mean, I was really, by the way, that one deal I was thinking of was actually for Tyler Algier. I think that was the one like 2 years, $12 million, which I don't mind that deal.
Phillips is getting 4 years, $120 million, and 80 of it guaranteed.
Wow. $80 million guaranteed for a guy who had 5 sacks last season and about 7 tackles for loss. Good player, but man, there again, even for these guys, Jalen Phillips' deal is thought to be the largest one for an unrestricted free agent for a non-quarterback. Goodness gracious. As Kevin said, 4 years, $120 million. And now he'll go play on the edge. I mean, I don't know. I think the Panthers have lost their minds. I don't. That one right there, every once in a while over the past few years, there'll be one that grabs me. It could be a cornerback, could be an edge rusher or whatever. Sometimes it's a wide receiver. And I go, whoa. Like earlier, it was that tight end Kohler, who I loved in college, but I wouldn't have paid him that much money. Phillips getting, they must have, his agents must have come up with another offer. You have to have a really, really good leverage to end up getting something like that. Wow. Garofalo said of that signing, the Eagles felt confident they could get something done, but Jalen Phillips gets enormous money from the Panthers. And the Eagles are like, wait, we can't do that. We can't do that deal. The other one was Bears signed linebacker Devin Bush, 3 years, $30 million. 3 years, $30 million for Devin Bush.
And then they lost Tremaine Edwards.
Yeah, we knew that was happening. Veteran who's been a pretty good player, and he goes to the Giants. He's a good veteran player, for sure. And really, I'm trying to think, maybe when they played the Cowboys, I think he had some big plays in that game. He had either a scoop and score or a pick six. He's a good player. He really is. Archer reported about an hour ago the Cowboys had been in contact with Arizona safety Jalen Thompson. I'm at the Arizona Cardinals, one of the more sought-after safeties. Very, very interesting. And then the huge deal that went to former Ravens free agent center Tyler Linderbaum. Whoa, 3 years, $81 million. That includes $60 million guaranteed for an interior lineman. The other big one that Kevin was tracking earlier today, Alec Pierce stays with the Colts, ends up getting about $29 million a year. Great deal for him. Great deal. He does not catch that many balls, but when he does, they're way down the field. I mean, incredible production. The yards per completion, been up there around 20 yards reception for 2 years now. He's good.
The other thing about Pierce is, I mentioned the other day, he'll catch balls even if he's got double coverage, or if he will get a flag for pass interference and catch the ball anyway. But he is such a down the field threat, as we've seen this like two safety shell kind of shift and kind of come a little bit more to respect the run. He will get behind the defense, and if he's not going to catch the ball, he will almost guarantee get a pass interference call, which doesn't get tracked in his stats, but definitely is a huge factor. Yeah.
What's the total amount that he got for like 4 years?
116 million, 4 years.
4 years. What do you think George Pickens would have gotten on the open market? Because he's not on the open market because they have put the franchise tag on him. I think he could have gotten 4. Yeah. And I think he could have gotten 4 and 130 or 140.
Oh, I don't know about. I mean, he probably would have been in that 30-ish million, because anywhere else other than Dallas, he's the number one. There's even question whether he might be even the number one in Dallas over CD.
Oh, it's it's going to be interesting to see how they play that one. Cowboys restructuring contracts as we sit here. We'll take a quick break. I did want to look real quick before we do. We did have another one come in. We got 3 more since we last. Oh my gosh. I mean, the team that's most active, we'll do these others when we come back, because there's nothing that I have to break in for right now. Kev, I mean, Brian Cook, the safety Brian Cook, headed to the Bengals for 3 years, $42.5 million. Dang, man. These guys are good players, but geez, they're all getting paid. Former Browns defensive end Cameron Thomas reached today with the Falcons on a 1-year, $3.1 million deal. All right, that's one. Just come in here, show us what you got. It's like a spring training invite, basically, with that amount of money. All right, we don't even know I don't think we know the guaranteed on that. I bet the guarantees maybe 500,000 or $1 million or something like that. Okay, those are deals. But Kev, the one that shocks me is just like, have you looked at a list of what the Titans have done so far today? I mean, it's Cordell Flott, John Franklin Myers, Wendell Robinson, Daniel Bellinger, Mitchell Trubisky, Alante Taylor. I mean, they have come out swinging.
They're really bolstering their secondary. It sounds like somebody is scared of a quarterback that could be coming back from Achilles injury and a newly signed Alec Pierce. I don't know. Same division.
All right. I'm sure that's why they're scared to death of the Colts. Maybe scared of the Texans. Scared of C.J. Stroud.
You mean C.J. fumbled a lot?
That Alante Taylor deal just went down a few minutes ago. That one's 3 years, $60 million. Wow. I mean, he's a good player. I mean, we're talking 20, and that may be top end of what he can get, but like $20 million a year for the Saints cornerback, Alante Taylor. Do we know that much about Alante? Wow. I mean, he is a reliable player. But that's a lot. Titans are really getting with it. I mean, they are working. All right, we have more to cover on this. And then we have college basketball to discuss. The men's tournament starts up tomorrow. This show will have buckyball tomorrow. Texas A&M basketball coach Bucky McMillan. It'll be great. We're going to have a great time with it. Buckyball on with us tomorrow afternoon. All right, Mosley Show continues. More with Sean Gary talk next.
When Central National Bank decided to partner with Baylor women's basketball, we were hoping Coach Collin would bring that championship mindset to do whatever she has to do to take our workplace culture to the next level.
Well, these donuts are pretty good.
Guys, how we doing?
We're good, Coach.
Craig! What are you doing?
What do you mean?
You have to dunk it.
So far, I think our employees are really enjoying it.
Not everything's a basketball thing.
Did you say something, Craig?
No, ma'am.
That's what I thought.
Dude, I think she likes you.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor Women's Basketball.
Introducing Muck-Off's classic pink bike cleaner, powered by revolutionary nanotechnology that breaks down dirt and grime on a microscopic level while protecting your bike's delicate finish. us.muc-off.com.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels. Visit opengoaalusa.com and elevate your training today.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Send money abroad in just a few steps with Remitly. Sign up with your email, enter an amount, choose how your loved ones receive the money, enter your recipient's information, select a payment method, hit send, and relax. Download the Remitly app today.
Hi, I'm Mitch, the co-founder of Cake, a sexual health and wellness company designed for today and designed for you. Yes, you. The entire product line can be found at hellocake.com, and it's also available in every Walmart near you.
Mosley Show continues, and of course we'll have our landing spot here in a minute, talking about the Brazos Landing. Always love talking about it. What a great place. And then also wanted to bring up Waco Golf Club, the par 3, the executive par 3, the 18, new pool, everything, new renovations out there. Really cool place that I've joined recently, and I think you'll enjoy it. I really do. It's something you ought to look into. But you can go out there and play it, and don't have to be a member. But it's just a great atmosphere, and just always had a fun, really pretty views, all of it out at Lake Waco Golf Club. It's just in tremendous. It's just they've done some great things, and so I want to recommend it to you, and you need to check it out. That's Lake Waco Golf Club, proud sponsor of the Mosley Show. Of course, you see below me right now Central National Bank. You see those commercials. And that's a big part of what we do. Lots going on today in all these, and I think, Kevin, we were just talking about Alec Pierce, who the Colts signed to a 4-year, $116 million deal. They traded Michael Pittman Jr. to the Steelers, and I cannot believe this. This is an interesting. This is kind of staggering. There's a headline right now talking about all these free agency signings, Kev, and it has source: Saints spend $113 million on Etienne and Edwards. I mean, I'm talking about former Bills guard David Edwards. Etienne ran for about 1,100 yards last season. Third time in 5-year career he has rushed for 1,000 yards to move into third place on the Jaguars' all-time rushing list. Really good player, but that's a staggering amount of money. And every year we're like, well, will there be that much of a market for this person and that person? And the answer is almost always yes. There's Etienne. And again, good player. Is he a top 5 running back in the NFL? Maybe close. Certainly when you put Saquon and McCaffrey in front of him, and Kenneth Walker III, by the way, got the Super Bowl bump and goes out there and gets paid in a big way. So lots going on. Earlier today, Kev had the latest information on college basketball, and we're starting to find out who's in the tournament. Some of these teams are starting to win their conference tournaments. And Kevin, I thought that was interesting that a group, first year of NCAA eligibility, they get in. Queens is this college up in Charlotte, North Carolina, Queens. And I don't even know why they play D1 basketball. I can't imagine they have a gymnasium that fits more than about 2,000 or 3,000 in it, but they do. And they became eligible this year. And if they didn't make the NCAA tournament, they've got a fascinating coach. So again, we've got all that coming up. And then Sunday, of course, we'll find out who's in the tournament. This week is the conference championship week. and that'll be a lot of fun. Former Browns defensive end Cameron Thomas reached a deal today with the Falcons on a 1-year, $3.1 million deal. I think I mentioned that one earlier, but I just wanted to confirm that I did say that one. Chris Godwin, the receiver for the Bucs, posted after Mike Evans reached an agreement with the 49ers, just a sad emoji face. Just that emoji face looking extremely sad. Kev, come on here for a minute. I'll just say, for me, I thought Kenneth Walker III was a big story because he was Super Bowl MVP. That doesn't happen as much as it used to. Players used to, off the Cowboys, off the Giants, off the Bucs, when they would win Super Bowls, their free agents would get these monster deals. It simply doesn't happen as much anymore. But Kenneth Walker III going to the Chiefs,
and he's not the only Seahawk either.
Kevin, I mean, this is a big play. And then, well, I'm glad you put that one up. Kobe Bryant going over from the Seahawks, and they lose him in free agency to the Bears. Good player. I mean, that whole secondary, I wouldn't call it Legion to Boom, but I would just tell you they had enough back there. This guy was a good safety. Eamon Wari is really, really good, and he kind of does it all and can hit, can play in the box, can cover. These are interesting deals that got done. Kev, your biggest deal would have been probably, because it happened for the team you cover and the team you root for, and that is Alec, the man from the Colts. And what an unbelievable season he had. And it's fun to see somebody like that get a huge deal. Yeah. Golly, what did it end up being? 20, what a year?
29-ish.
$9 million a year. More than what George Pickens would get on the franchise tag. It's a big deal.
And he signed up for 4 more years,
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's a big deal. Keep him in-house there. And I think
how much of that was guaranteed?
I'm
16?
not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge number. I think a lot of this had to do with them doing the deal with Daniel Jones, that I think that they knew, and I think I even mentioned this whenever it happened with Daniel Jones, that I don't think that they thought that they could get Alec back if they didn't know who the quarterback was. And because think of the different quarterbacks that Alec has had just in his 4 years with the Colts. Different starters. He has had Matt Ryan, Sam Ehlinger, Nick Foles started a game with him, Anthony Richardson, Minshew, and then all of the 3 different starters last year for different Flacco. I mean, and he has been consistent the whole time, been the same guy.
Okay, now I'm going to throw this at you.
Okay.
And by the way, let's take care of the Landing as we visit. We talk about them. Love. Oh, there it is. Just put that right there in your mouth. That's right. I don't know. That's creeping me out.
We'll be there next Wednesday.
Good. I love it. Sun trying to peek out. I hope that day the sun favors the Brazos River, and we'll have a great time no matter what. And I may get some people to stop by in terms of some of the local Waco legends. There's an offensive lineman now at Baylor that transferred from University of Texas. I'm going to try to get him on. I like this guy. And one of my buddies knows him and wants him to be on with us. Of course, I'll properly, Kevin, go through Baylor as only I could. I would never go around authority at all. You know me. But great to have the Brazos Landing, and great to think about the Bang Bang Shrimp today. I'll tell you what I'd like. I just like a BLT sandwich right now from there. Oh, that bacon. You would love it, Kevin. All right. Malik Willis has to be one of the big stories of the day. 3 years, $67.5 million with $45 million fully guaranteed. Kev, what do you think? What grade do you think ESPN gave this deal? Big deal. 3 years, 45 guaranteed to a guy with a very small sample setting.
I'll say that they probably gave it a B-.
A. They gave it an A, baby.
That's be more where I would send it to. I think because of the coaching, because of that connection, and what because we haven't seen what he's seen behind the scenes, the new coach of the Dolphins. So to bring him over his guy that he's been able to shape and mold, I think is great.
Listen to this, Kev. His numbers in Green Bay: 86.3 QBR, 9.2 yards per drop back.
Yep.
And a plus 7% completion percentage over expected per next gen stats. Though, now, if you does not do his Titans numbers, because they would send those numbers into the tank, right? Those stats would all rank first over the past 2 seasons among QBR qualifiers if Willis kept up that hot pace in a bigger sample. I just said it. It's not a big enough sample setting. But the man can flat out play. I mean, in a small time with the Packers, he's looked good. Now, Hafley has to decide, he's projecting extremely small sample setting. We don't do this at any other position. We would never do this at receiver. This guy was really good for 3 games, put up huge numbers in 3 games. We would never do it. We would never do it for an offensive lineman. We would never do it for an edge rusher. Guy had 2 or 3 really good games. We do it only for a quarterback.
Well, I take it back. The Panthers did it.
Yeah, but he's got more reps and more snaps. Yeah. I bet last season he had, 400 snaps or 400
He played in all 17 games, yes.
There you go. I like the man. He always had an interesting look about him to me. The headband, good big head of hair on him, and he just kind of has a way about him that says, I am going to come for your quarterback.
Looks more like a power forward, that kind of look.
Looks like a guy who would have a hyphenated name at Purdue.
Yeah, Trey Kaufman-Wren. It does look a lot like him, yeah.
There you go. Okay. Okay, big show today. Kev, thank you for helping me get through that. I was having fun, and I was excited about the show, but as I explained, there was not a lot of sleep involved. And Kevin, you are about 6 years younger than I am, so I feel like you can attack the lack of sleep a little bit better than I used to be good at that. And today there were moments where I was like, wait a second, I don't know if I can form another thought. All right, we appreciate everybody who's been a part of this one. C&B, the Brazos Landing, Patient Direct. My gosh, Alan Samuels. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Alan Samuels.
Special thank you to Rashawn Gary.
Thank you, Rashawn. Oh, there's the new jersey. All right.
Yeah. Very photoshopped.
It looks so much like a picture I saw of him. Oh, that's the same one that he used, didn't he, when he said goodbye?
Yep.
If you put a goodbye Instagram out there, why would you try to say you were hacked? I mean, there's nobody that could hack like that.
No.
Well, be careful out there. There's a lot of liars and weirdos out there right now. And we're not talking about ourselves, Kevin. There's a lot of people out there on Twitter saying like false stuff. Oh my goodness. Tomorrow, huge show planned for you. Bucky Ball himself. Bucky McMillan joins the Mosley Show back where he belongs. It is the Mosley. Oh, and Baylor plays tomorrow. Golly, Kev, Baylor has a game at 11:30. And then I'm thinking about it.
That usually means that they're not that good if they have to play this early, though, right?
Oh, let's not. Come on, you actually take a paycheck from Baylor sometimes. Let's not
That's
say
true.
mean. Let's not say rude things. Gosh, that does mean our show's not really going to get going until 2:00 tomorrow. Now that I think about it, I mean, I guess we'll have to do our show, won't we? We got to figure that out, Kev, because I really want to watch the game.
Well, get a TV.
I know,
right
but
next to your station.
I can do that, but I don't.
got this.
I don't. I need to focus.
I'm
on the
watching
game.
Schefter right now on my TV.
Yeah, but that's different than watching a Baylor game. All right. Well, we'll start the show. I'm so used to where we used to have the show on our station that for a minute I was like, wait, we can't do the show while the game's on. Okay, buddy. All my best. Oh, J-Mo will be doing the game. I bet he can't do a show tomorrow. All my best. It is the Mosley Show. I want everybody to have a great one. I'll see you tomorrow at 1:00.
As part of Central National Bank's partnership with Baylor women's basketball, we asked Coach Collin to take a shot at improving the efficiency of our drive-thru.
The lane is open! Drive the lane! Attack the lane! Go! 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 Go!
We have a few kinks to work out.
Is this what you had in mind when you invited her?
No. I think you should say something to her.
Me?
Let's make Craig do it.
Okay, yeah.
You're gonna take this canister and you're gonna shoot it up.
Be all right. Be all right. Just be confident. Hey, Coach. Can I have a word with you?
Craig, not right now. I'm with a customer.
Okay.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor women's basketball.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's internxt.com today.
Welcome to Market XLS, your all-in-one Excel solution for investors. Designed as an enterprise-grade platform, Market XLS caters to investment managers, secure and efficient investment management and research. Book your free demo.
Experience with the Mosley MD hair regrowth kit was amazing. It was easy to use. It let me take off my hat. I could go in public and have my picture taken and feel normal again.
MosleyMD.com.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
BadCreditLoans.com is a pioneering service provider that has carved a reputation in the financial industry. Simple, fast, and reliable loan application process. And its commitment to responsible borrowing makes it a trusted partner in the journey towards financial stability.
Unlock a world of convenience with Mullybox, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your taste. Mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today. Experience the perfect blend of exquisite craftsmanship and life-changing technology with Gevi. Every product is built with precision, featuring specialized parts that ensure durability, efficiency, and safety. Upgrade your everyday with Gevi. Visit us at gevi.com to discover more.